Yeah, all right. Nailed it. Cool. Into 600. Before we do that, I want to talk a little bit about the pistol itself. I know the first 100 I kind of jumped into it a little quick and didn't go over the initial impressions that I had, and I didn't do that at the range either, but I will do that now. Other than the obvious that I pointed out, low bore axis, the fiber optic front sight, the overall design kind of looks like the Gundam that I mentioned. The trigger is very nice. I do really enjoy it. It doesn't have a safety. I presume it has a drop safety of some kind, but in terms of the hinge, or I should say not the hinge style, but the blade, the trigger blade, like the Glock and all the other, like, here at the Kimber and with the Security 9, the Duria, DY9, H&K, all of these have that trigger blade in the middle as a safety. This Archon Firearms Type-B does not. Also, round 600, another 100 rounds here on me channel. So before I get too far into it, if you're new here, I'm going to be shooting another 100 rounds at round 600, and we're doing 1,000 rounds. So this is episode 6. Back to the trigger. Trigger is nice. The wall, the take up to the wall is just right there. It's almost, you pull the trigger. It's not hinging, but it just feels like it's pulling back. That's right there is the wall. You kind of feel like a semi-wall right here, but then there's a little squish in between. Once you hit that wall right there, then there's a little bit of forgiveness, and then forgiveness some more, and then break. Reset is very nearby. I'd say a quarter more than I would want, but it's still very nice as you're shooting. Right there. I would expect it to be right here, but that's okay. That's not a big deal. Tactile reset, audible as well. Wall, forgiveness. Oh, no, break. So, but it very, very good feedback with the trigger. I do really enjoy it. It didn't give me any issues. Nice little flare from the magwell here at the pinky, so that's nice. There isn't too much of a bolster here on the back, so I would like something a little bit more. The dovetail is nice and curved. It feels like, you're kind of coming over like that, but the firearm's doing that, so you're not going to be, the slide's not going to be biting you. You're not going to go anywhere. It's nice and tight in there. This little portion, it kind of sticks out like a spine, but if your if your hand doesn't have a beefy part in the middle, I could see it could bother you a little bit. The woman that was shooting initially, I think that was around 200, or I forget when. Anyway, she had mentioned it kind of bothered her, but I don't think it's a big problem, and didn't hear anybody else complain about it, myself included. Has a little texture here on the trigger guard. Nothing here at the bottom, so that's a little miss for me, but it's personal preference, not against the firearm itself. Nice out cut, like the CZ 75 and other CZ Shadow 2 style pistols. Is very nice. Full pick rail, and yeah, the slide stop is nice and accentuated, but just very sleek, very, very nice, and mechanics are rock solid. I really do have a good feeling with it. So a couple of things that would make it better, right? And then for me personally, but overall, a shooter's gun, it does very well. So we'll get into the rounds. Nothing too much today, just a nice little accuracy shoot with agility, and seeing if I can keep that agility up with the accuracy. We'll see in the outro. Nothing, like I said, nothing too much. Just wanted to go over the impressions of the firearm that I didn't get to do. I forgot. So, all right, we'll see you in the outro. Enjoy. This video is intended for educational and informational purposes only. All firearm handling shown is performed by trained individuals in a controlled environment. Always follow the 4 rules of gun safety. Number 1, treat your firearm as if it is loaded. Number 2, never point a firearm at anything you do not intend to destroy. Number 3, keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Number 4, be sure of your target and what's beyond it. Comply with all local, state, and federal laws regarding firearms. Do not attempt to replicate any action seen in this video without proper training and safety measures. The creators assume no liability for misuse or unsafe practices. Welcome back here to the pew. Welcome you back to the pew for this 1,000 round review of the PTR Archon Firearms Type-B. Welcome back you to the pew for the 1,000 round review series. Did I say series? Okay, series. Okay, it's not the review yet. This is round 600 of the Type B from PTR Archon Firearms. Yeah, I reached a new level. Oh, yesterday was 500, not 400, so I had to fix that in post in the audio. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, yesterday was a milestone. I've just become a little bit more comfortable and appreciative of this firearm. I still don't know about the price, but we'll just talk about that later. Today we're shooting Blazer ammunition, 115 grain full metal jacket. I loaded up. I did something a little bit different today. I wanted to load up first and then do the intro. Not skipping a step, just doing it in a different order. We are shooting with Blackhawk. Yeah, you can see it. Blackhawk mag caddy, and We the People mag pouch. Also shooting with the Condor mag, thigh rig. I know I'm doing like a Sports Illustrated pose. And then we're also shooting at, I am shooting at 20 yards for the big orange silhouette, 12 yards here for the humble tree, and 12 yards for the yellow silhouette. Oh, I see what happened. So I've got to cut that back in. My last video, I cut out some of the table video because I accidentally touched the power button. It was a little too sensitive, so I don't like that, but it is what it is. All right, so let's load up our magazines. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I am excited to continue sharing. It's been a wonderful month so far, because I started in December of last year. So it's been a very, very, very fun time. I'm going to be shooting a lot more firearms to come. Let's go, 20 yards. Try to hit that little target at the top. Nope. Okay, it's all right. Little humble tree here. Nope, I hit the base. There you go. There you go. "12-yard silhouette. Horrible. And just a little dance. Yeah, if you're off just by a little bit, hey, it throws you off tremendously. It's a little chilly, but no excuse why I can't shoot well. Here we go. All right, that was cool. That was cool. Yeah, it definitely feels good. Like I said, last 100 rounds, it's very agile, and I feel like I can put the target in the general vicinity. It's not within a tight grouping necessarily, but that just comes with practice. There you go. Yeah, all right. Nice. Okay, that's 600. We'll come back for 700. It's doing good. I'm happy with it, and we'll see. We'll see about what the justification is near the end of the 1,000 round. But so far, it's just building more confidence, building up better and better. Let me know if you've shot one of these and give your feedback, give your take. We're gonna move on to that 700, and then we'll get 147 through here and see how that does. Stay for the outro. Aim for center mass, pick up your brass, wash your ass, say hi to your mom for me. Yeah, it did great. I felt really nice with it. Do the whole agility back and forth between some targets. It wasn't perfect with it, but it still felt very good. So I have grown to really appreciate this firearm, and for what they have been doing the last 14 some odd years, give or take, because there's, some years they weren't too hot to trot, but in any case, this is nice. Now, the price. I didn't mention in the pre-intro, but I am going to mention what I paid for this. Came with 2 magazines, I believe, for $940. It was used. I don't think, yeah, it was used. And $940 for this without the optics cut, it's kind of steep. It is. I will say it's kind of steep. There, you can get these for about $900. With taxes and everything, it would be $940. I suppose I just got the base model. They do get pricier with extra, with the optics cut and extra. They also have a ported version, which I would love to try that out, but it's more expensive, of course. And also the magazines are proprietary, so it's going to be kind of a bummer, whether or not you see it as such. But for me, after shooting all these firearms, that's kind of a bummer. I gotta go get some outside the realm of the norm magazines to shoot through. But for everyday consumers who are just looking to get into this with a lower bore axis and just a different feel to it, maybe they'll have a better time getting those magazines and not be bothered by it. But for me, I would rather have something a little bit more universal. Not a big deal, because I can't expect every firearm company to follow a Glock, right? To get a Glock magazine to be compatible. So unrealistic expectation. That's just personal preference for me. But this is great. This is a nice firearm for the price, though. I don't know. We still got 400 more. But being on the fence, I would lean more towards the novelty and gun reviewer other option if you're thinking about something, or if you just do not like the the camp of Glock, you do not like the camp of Smith & Wesson, M&P, if you do not like the camp of any other big manufacturer, then this could be a good option, you know, going against the grain of the gun community, so to speak. So anyway, it's been awesome. I have really been enjoying it. Started out like, I'm not too sure. Now I'm like, I like it. I really do enjoy it. Price point, probably not, but we'll get into more of that stuff too also in the review. Let me know what you think. If you have an Archon Firearms Type-B, Gen 1 or Gen 2, if you have the ported version, if you have the FDE grip, which I want that one too. That one's really cool. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are and what you think so far. If you have been watching, you know, if not, then go watch my previous episodes. Anyway, just kidding. Thank you so much for being here, all of you folks. Really, really appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow around 700. Like, subscribe, comment, recommend, all that jazz, not in that particular order. We'll see you tomorrow. 照顾好自己，注意安全。